Rashad, thank you so much for sitting down with me. This means a lot to be here at the Giants facility and just sitting here talking to you, so I really appreciate it.
No, my pleasure.
Let's take it back to the very beginning. I read that you called yourself a self-described 270-pound kid with asthma and glasses in high school.
This is a true statement. I was 270-pound, overweight, chubby kid, glasses, asthma, .6, GPA average, fifth-string running back riding the bench. So I didn't think I was going to make it to be here at one point.
So let's go back to that time, trying to kind of find your own, I would think, right, in school, on the team. So you said you were the fifth string, right, running back. So I got to ask you, I read that you would bring your snacks or just come kick it with your other teammates who would never get called in to play the game, right? So that moment when you actually get called in to play, tell me, what was that like? Did you have snacks in your mouth? Were you like, what's going on?
So yeah, I mean, I didn't play. So when we, broke the white tape, I come to the sideline and, pop off my helmet, get me a drink or something, and sit back and watch the show.
Did that affect your confidence at all, you think?
Nah, I was too goofy and silly at the point in time to even affect the way I felt towards my craft. But I remember watching the game, and our first string running back got hurt, and me and my buddy on the sideline, we just eating M&Ms, chilling. And I was like, man, he got hurt. I wonder if they gonna put me in. I was like, nah, I'm fifth string. So the second string went in. He ended up getting hurt. So I'm kind of looking around, still eating my M&Ms, wondering if I'm gonna get a shot. And they put the third string running back in. He gets hurt. The first string goes back after getting taped up. He gets hurt again. They put in the fourth string running back. He gets nicked up. And so I'm like, they actually might put me in. They put in a receiver instead of putting me in next. He wasn't doing too hot, so eventually they put me in. And I remember scrounging around looking for my helmet. I just picked up a random helmet because they're like, Jennings, get in the game. And I didn't know where my helmet was, so I picked up somebody else's, and I didn't put the mouthpiece in. I went in, and the first play was a run play. It was a 40-yard touchdown. So you couldn't tell me nothing at that time. I was excited, liberated. I ran straight to the sideline, and I, celebrated with one of my friends that we always was on the sideline together. And, I took my helmet off and relaxed because I was like, all right, they probably ain't gonna put me back in. And fast forward throughout the game, they found another reason to put me back in. Played a couple plays here and there, scored another touchdown. Same thing happened on defense where it was occurring injuries, and they had to put me in. My first play on defense was a sack, fumble, I scooped and scored. And the last play of the game, I ended the game with a pick six on a screen play, playing defensive end. So 14 plays total, 4 touchdowns, 2 on offense, 2 on defense. And afterwards, there was a scout that came up to me. It was a Tennessee scout. He came to watch the starting running back, and he pulled me aside and he said, Rashad, I came to watch the starting running back, but I couldn't help but to notice you. And he said, how are your grades? And
creeping on you, huh?
That's when I had to look at him and tell him, sir, I got a .6. And I always tell people that was the first time that somebody saw potential in me outside of the people that are supposed to support me, family, friends. So ever since then, I started taking ownership and responsibility in my academics. In a way that I prepared, health and fitness. I transferred high school. My family came together. My 2 brothers went to a private school, Lynchburg Christian Academy at the time, and they coached there for free in order to help pay a tuition for me to transfer because it was a private school. We didn't have the money to do it. And I transferred. I repeated my junior year. I took all my classes. I took 9 homeschool classes. I took 9 summer school classes, and all I did was work. And that kind of was the beginning to lead me where I am now.
So that game really changed your life in more ways than one.
No question. That was a major turning point in my career, in my life.
Do you feel like you proved them all wrong with that game that day?
I think you know what?
You had to feel something like, look, coach, yeah, you put me the fifth string. Look what I can do.
For some weird reason, I think I proved them right because they knew I could play. But for whatever the reason may have been, I probably didn't help it. And with my attitude on the football field, I wanted to play, but what kid doesn't? But nah, I mean, I'm appreciative of that because those little moments kind of help and define who I am and why I work so hard now. Because I wasn't a kid that rolled out of bed and had all the talent. I wasn't a kid that rolled out of the bed and just had my academics and life just rolled out on a red carpet for me. So I've been instilled with those work ethics that I'm now authentically able to get back and to teach with.
And I read that you actually transferred from Pitt, right, your freshman year, to go home to your father, who suffered from diabetes. So going through that, and then you had an amazing college career back at Liberty, right?
I ended up earning a scholarship to Pitt, and things were going well. I was one of the very few true freshmen to be able to start at Pitt at the time. So it was cool to be on the list with Tony Dorsett. That was humbling. And after the first year, I got a phone call from home. That kind of changed another turning point in my life where my dad was battling diabetes and it ended up having to get his leg amputated. And that was tough for me at the time. 19 years old, away from home, family is really all I know and have. And I wanted to be there. And so I asked Coach for a release to transfer, and Liberty University is 10 minutes from my home. So that's where I wanted to be at. So I transferred to Liberty to be there for my mom, help around the house, my dad, family, because they took care of me, at that point for 19 years of my life. I figured I could be there for 3 more in my college years and hope for the best. And so I found out that the world is round. You do what's right, it come back to you. But when I was at Liberty, the only thing I could think about was earning respect of the teammates. Coming from a bigger school, and I was told if you have any shot at the league, then you have to dominate at this level.
Now, speaking of the league, here comes draft day. You're drafted in the 7th round, right? 250th overall.
Mm-hmm.
Explain the feeling of waiting for that moment when they call your name. Did you at any point feel like you were not going to be drafted at all? What was that feeling like inside? It must have hurt.
Draft day is a long day. If you know anybody's going through it, do not call them until it is over. But you got a lot of nervous energy, coming out of college. You don't know what to expect. You hear so many stories about the draft, but till you sit down and watch the TV and experience it yourself, you're watching it just like anybody else. There's no difference besides you waiting, watching TV with the phone beside you. You have no idea what's going to happen. And, after the few running backs get picked, because I was the #1 senior running back coming out. And then there was a bunch of guys that came out their junior year, which ended up being trumped. Went to the Senior Bowl. I was a leading rusher at the Senior Bowl. Did well at the Combine. So I got my fingers crossed that somebody's going to give me a shot. And, the first round goes by. I think it was 3 running backs that got picked. Second round goes by. It was like 3 more running backs that got picked. Third round goes by. Some more. Fourth, fifth, 6,
Was your hope
7.
diminishing as this was happening?
Yeah, because I was a 23rd running back pick at the time. So I watched 22 others go in front of me. And I remember I got one phone call from the New Orleans Saints, and they said that we want you to come here if you do not get drafted to be a free agent. That was the only call I had until Jacksonville Jaguars popped up. And Jacksonville was actually the the team, because there's 2 NFL teams that coach in the Senior Bowl. I think it's, don't quote me, but I think it's 2 of the worst records in the NFL. Those coaches, that coaching staff coaches in the Senior Bowl. And Jacksonville was at the Senior Bowl. I played on their coaching staff, so they actually remembered me personally. So I think that if it wasn't for that, I don't think I would have got drafted.
Not one bit. See, God works in mysterious ways and made that happen for you that day, to be there at that moment, to have those guys there.
It's, you know, this game is so unpredictable. The only thing you can ask for is an opportunity, no matter where you're drafted, no matter what city you're in, no matter where you are on a depth chart. You're just patiently waiting for an opportunity. And you know, that's why one of the quotes I live by is, when opportunity presents itself, it's too late to prepare for it.